In this video, we'll teach you how to paint a radiant Dominican Republic sunrise seascape, including step-by-step directions for beginners. Welcome to Acrylic Arts Academy. We teach the world to paint. For this project, you'll need a 1/2-inch flat brush. A larger flat brush is optional. A small round brush, a fan brush, and a mop brush. This one is 3/4 of an inch. You'll also need a ruler or other flat edge and a pencil. Step 1 will prepare the canvas. You'll need an 8x10 canvas and your ruler and pencil. Begin with your canvas in the landscape position as you see here. We're using an 8x10 inch canvas panel for this project. Using a ruler or other flat edge, draw the horizon line across the middle of the canvas. Use the bottom of a small paint bottle, a soda cap, or any other small circular item to trace a circle in the upper corner. This will be our sun, and it'll help to have a simple design like this drawn out as we move along. Use your ruler or flat edge to draw a small angled line in the corner as you see here. Next, you'll need a 1/2-inch flat brush and some light pink. Here's how to mix the light pink sky color. Start with a good amount of white, add a little dash of red, and a little dash of silver or gray. Mix it up thoroughly, and you'll find that you have a dusty pink. If it's a little too dark, add a little more white. Paint this color halfway up the skyline and avoid painting over the sun as you work. Next, we'll need some light blue. Here's how to mix this shade. Clean off your 1/2-inch flat brush and create a very light blue color by adding a dash of medium blue to plenty of white. Mix this color well, and if you find that it's a little too dark, add a bit more white. Working slightly quickly, add this color to the top portion of the sky and blend these two colors together at the seams. Using the same brush, scoop up some medium blue paint and add it to the top of the canvas. While the paint is still wet, blend this color in as well as you can. Let's use a clean and dry 3/4-inch mop brush to blend these colors smoothly. This simple technique is one of the easiest ways to get an even, smooth render on a gradient like this. Simply swish the mop brush back and forth over the paint using a light touch. It helps to begin with the lightest color and go from there. Do your best to avoid painting over the sun. Keep using this swishing motion until you're happy with the results. Next, let's paint the clouds using a small round brush and light yellow. Here's how to mix that sunset cloud color. It's going to be a light yellow. Start with plenty of white and add a little dash of yellow ochre. Mix these two colors well and assess if the color is right for you. You may need to end up adding a little more white and mixing it again. So let's paint the clouds for the sky. If your paint from the sky is wet, it's good to let that dry before attempting this step. If you need more time, just pause this video and take a break as needed. We'll paint our clouds with light yellow and a small round brush. These type of clouds we're painting here can be achieved by swirling your paintbrush in tiny circles, migrating as you work. To capture variations in hue, scoop up a little bit of yellow ochre as you wish to create dynamic clouds. No need to wash your paintbrush in between using light yellow and yellow ochre. As we continue, we'll be using various brushes. The choice is yours as to how to proceed. We'll use a fan brush in the same light yellow to create variations on clouds across the horizon line, as you see here. Swirl the fan brush in an oval shape as you apply the paint and watch clouds instantly formulate. It's okay to keep swirling your brush until you naturally run out of paint, Organic forms like clouds do not have a set shape and can become anything you like. A flat brush works great too. If you want to learn how to paint clouds with differently shaped brushes, click the card in the upper corner of this video to see this technique broken down into steps. Using this flat brush, use the same cloud color as before and quickly create clouds by swirling your brush in small circles. To add depth to these sunset clouds, we'll add some gray using a wet-on-wet blending technique. Here's how to mix gray cloud lowlight. Begin with plenty of white and add a tiny dash of black. Mix these two colors together until they're married completely. This initial application may look dark or mismatched, but you'll see how this can work to your advantage as we move on. Don't panic and add some light yellow as you blend these two shades of color together. Apply gray to any cloud to start, but don't cover the cloud entirely. Instead, work up to the edges but leave some yellow showing, as we've done here. This will help portray light and make the clouds look lit up from behind, with the viewer looking at the shady side of each cloud. Continue with this method for each cloud and add light yellow as you blend, allowing the gray to match the initial yellow better as a grade hue of this shade. Switch to a tiny round brush or a detailer brush to continue our clouds. Apply light yellow to each shadow's outer aspects to highlight each form's backlit nature. Next, use a detailer brush or a tiny round brush and add light yellow paint to add small pieces of clouds in between the more giant formations. Add as much or as little as you see fit. Next, we'll be painting the ocean water. To achieve this color, mix medium blue with a little gray until you achieve the right shade. The result we're looking for is a grayish blue as seen here. When you're ready, use any flat brush to apply this color. Watch how the color is being applied in the video. Work from the side inward and stop at the point featured in the clip. We'll be doing the same thing on the other side in a moment, leaving an unevenly angled strip in between the two. Follow along with the motions seen here, and you'll understand this methodology shortly. Use the flat edge of your brush to paint up to the shoreline, but don't paint the rest of the canvas at this time. Begin working inward from the other side in the same way, but don't paint over everything. Leave an uneven strip of unpainted canvas as you see here. The sun in the scene is casting a bright highlight on the water's surface. To portray this, we'll add white paint to the strip of unpainted canvas. Use side-to-side brushstrokes as you add this color, and notice how the ocean watercolor blends in as you work. This is good and will create a light blue highlight as you apply it. Try to maintain the uneven sides rather than creating a straight line. Take your time with this and keep working until you like the look. Let's utilize more wet-on-wet blending techniques as we add some movement to the seawater. Do not clean off your brush that has white paint on it. Instead, lightly swipe the color across the water at slightly angled lines. Keep these little flourishes somewhat even and parallel to one another. If the white color no longer shows up, just scoop up some more with your brush and continue with this technique across the water's surface. Next, we'll use a 1/2 inch flat brush and ocean watercolor blended with a dash of black to create an ocean low light. Use the flat edge of your brush to trace the shoreline leading up to the water. Next, watch the technique used. Simple angled swoops of color imply a small wave of water curling towards the coastline. As you work, do your best not to paint over the highlighted strip of sunshine on the water. Switching back to the ocean color, use a flat brush to cut in some delicate details working inward towards the sunshine on the water as seen here. Let's move on to painting the sun and a few details around it. Use mostly white with a tiny dash of yellow to fill in the sun's circle. Once that's finished, use a very light blue to paint a tiny halo around the sun. This helps to give the illusion of brightness and will help you cover up any areas of sun color that may have gone outside the drawn circle. Now we'll add a feature to the sun that's often called God's rays. These are the lines of light that often appear in photography and human vision when looking at a bright object like the sun. We'll achieve this feature by painting straight lines of watered down light yellow emanating from the sun's form. It's up to you how much or little of these rays that you paint. Remember that they'll look better as straight lines rather than curved ones. If you are struggling to create straight lines, low-tack painter's tape may help you, or you can use a ruler as you paint each ray. You can use a round or a flat brush to accomplish this part of the painting. Take your time and pause this video as needed. Some of these rays can be short and others can reach down to the bottom edges of the canvas. Next, we'll be painting the shoreline using a 1/2 inch flat brush and brown plus a little black. Here's how to make the sand color. Use burnt umber and a tiny dash of black to create dark brown, or if you have dark brown already in a tube, that's perfectly fine. Now we'll finish up by painting the shoreline. Follow along as you see here to add the initial layer of brown. Clean off your brush when you're ready, scoop up some white paint, and apply it with slicing brushstrokes using the flat paintbrush. Apply additional white towards the center in a pattern that matches the highlights of the ocean water. If you desire, add dark brown to areas that look too light or where you want shadows to be present. Awesome job! You finished this project. Pat yourself on the back for trying and completing something new. Be sure to sign your work so everyone knows it's yours, and feel free to join our acrylic painting tutorials group on Facebook to share a photo of your new painting. Find the link to our community in the description below. See you there! Begin your acrylic painting journey by visiting acrylicartsacademy.com/free courses.